Hello and welcome to episode 88 of Soap Goes to the Oscars. I finished watching this movie on 5/23/25 and I'm recording same day. Just finished it. And this one was called The Citadel. We are still in the 1938 Oscars. This one was available for free on the Internet Archive. So that brings my average down to 366. It was 418 with the last one. So dropping a little bit. The next two are also available online. Another one on Internet Archive and one on Daily Motion. So no more paying this round. I think the snubbed movie is also available on YouTube. So that's good. As I said, this movie is called The Citadel. It's a 1938 British drama film based on the 1937 novel of the same name by A.J. Cronin. The film was directed by King Vidor, and produced by Victor Seville for MGM British at Denham Studios. Stars Robert Donat and Rosalind Russell. The film and book helped the creation of Britain's NHS in 1947. Screenplay by Ian Dalrymple, Frank Weed, and Elizabeth Hill. Produced by Victor Seville. Starring Robert Donat, Rosalind Russell, Ralph Richardson, and Rex Harrison. Ralph Richardson, I think, was the one. He played the Supreme Being in Time Bandits. This is the second movie I've seen Robert Donat in. He was in Private Life of Henry VIII. First thing I've seen Rosalind Russell or Rex Harrison in. Cinematography by Harry Stradling, edited by Charles Friend, music by Louis Levy, Charles Williams, produced by MGM and distributed by MGM, released on November 3rd, 1938, with a runtime of 110 minutes. I think it was more like 113 minutes. The film was nominated for Oscars in 4 categories: Best Picture, Best Actor for Robert Donat, directing and adapted screenplay. Dr. Andrew Manson is an idealistic, newly qualified Scottish doctor dedicated to treating the Welsh miners suffering from tuberculosis in the Welsh mining village of Blaney, and is an apprentice to Dr. Page. Initially, he has many lofty scientific goals, but meets local resistance in his research. After his laboratory notes are destroyed by the miners, he moves to London, treating working-class patients in impoverished conditions. There, his purpose erodes when a chance encounter with a medical school friend, Dr. Frederick Lawford, leads to his quiet seduction by an unethical medical establishment treating rich hypochondriacs. Christine, his wife, tries to set him back on the original path. Dr. Philip Denny, Manson's best friend and still working for improved working class health, dies at the hands of an incompetent social climbing surgeon. Okay, so one thing I want to note is I don't know why it took me this long, but when I was watching the last movie, which was Test Pilot, after I watched it, I have thoughts while I'm watching the movies. And then when I go to record, I sometimes remember those thoughts, sometimes forget, depending on how soon after I record. But then I thought, why don't I start taking notes? And I don't know why it's taken me 88 movies to do so. But I started taking notes on this one. So a few things I wrote down. Is this pretty grim right from the start? There's typhoid fever, dead babies. They did bring the baby back to life, but it was dead for a long time. So I question how good that baby was after. Some terrible drunk acting by Robert Donat and Ralph Richardson. And this is another one where, the main couple in the movie, they just get married on a whim. Basically, when he goes to be a doctor in this town, they will only only allow him to live in the house they give him if he's married. So he had some interactions with this woman, and he basically just goes and proposes, and they get married. This movie was boring and stuffy. and British. And this dude was a real douche nozzle for most of the movie. And then, you know, gets redeemed at the end. Uh, saw a lot of nice reviews on IMDb, but I didn't love this. I haven't rated on IMDb or on Letterboxd yet, but I think probably 2.5 at most for this. Good acting. It was a good copy available on Internet Archive. It was a DVD rip, I believe. It's just that I found him to be extremely annoying. He was good. Everybody was good in it, but I found him to be extremely annoying throughout the movie, even at the beginning when he was supposed to be, have lofty goals and all that. I didn't love it from the start. And because of that, I probably, tuned out a little bit more than I should have. But it was just kind of annoying that in the end, like he kills his friend, and he blames the incompetent. This says dies at the hands of an incompetent social climbing surgeon, which is true. But his friend came to them with this idea of basically starting a practice with other doctors of different specialties, and they would charge patients a monthly fee to keep them healthy, preventative medicine. And then, when they were sick, they would help them. But he was climbing this social ladder and making more money, so he didn't want to do it. And his best friend and oldest friend, had told him that he was on the wagon. And when they're out to dinner, when he proposes this to him, and when he turns him down, the friend orders a bottle of whiskey. And the next time they see him, he's drunk. And then he gets in an accident and needs the surgery, and the surgeon's incompetent, so he dies. But it was him that killed him. And then at the very end, when they were at that dinner, they were at a restaurant of an Italian woman whose daughter is sick with a lung issue, and that's his specialty. And he basically just ignores her, whereas in the past, he would have helped her right away and for free, probably. And so when the friend dies, he realizes that, he's made a mistake, and he goes and helps the girl, and then gets in trouble for it because he works with a guy that's not a doctor. Not a doctor. But at that point, I was already done with this dude. So, you don't get redeemed in my eyes, sir. Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. He bothered me throughout the whole movie, and it was, like I said, it was very stuffy, way too long, way too long. Definitely could have been 10 minutes shorter, 15 minutes shorter, for sure. So I did not love this one, which is unfortunate because I think for the most part, I really have liked all of these this round so far. So this one, I'm pretty sure when I went and looked at Letterboxd after the last recording, I think I'd given all of these movies at least like a 3.5 to 4. And this one, I would say 2.5. So got 2 more left. Hopefully we're not on a downward trend here. But we'll see what happens. See you next time.